Oh, it's an open line hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752-6111 is the number to call. I want to start with something that I pulled down from online from Senator Bernie Sanders and also Representative Greg Casar is a Democrat of Texas. They have introduced a bill that targets pro sports teams' relocations, as if there's not enough to do in Washington these days. They jointly announced what they called the Home Team Act in a press conference, and this press conference was Thursday, I think, last week. It's a proposed federal bill that would require team ownership to provide 1 year of notice before moving a team to a new location if that team would move across state lines or to a new metropolitan area. Doesn't cover a new stadium within the current metropolitan area. And that's not all of it. Because once the team announces a year ahead that they're going to move out of the metropolitan area or across state lines, the franchise in question would be available for other prospective owners to purchase at a fair and reasonable price. A team of appraisers would determine what constitutes fair and reasonable, according to the press release from Representative Casar's office. They say, quote, "The American people are sick and tired of billionaires threatening to move the sports teams they own to different states unless they get hundreds of millions in corporate welfare to build new stadiums. Sports in America should be about more than just making billionaire owners even richer." You can tell this is Sanders and Casar because they both have this thing against billionaires, I guess. Quote, "Far too many Americans know the pain of losing a team." Wait a minute. The pain of losing a team? Does your life change if a team moves? Do you really have pain? Yeah, we'd like our teams. I wouldn't want to see, the Detroit Tigers become the Columbus, Ohio, whatevers. Of course not. But my life's going to go on, and I'm not going to be in pain because of it. But far too many Americans, according to them, know the pain of losing a team, and too many communities have to fork over billions in subsidies. I think that's a little excessive, just to keep a profitable team home. They want to create a level playing field so leagues work for fans and taxpayers, not just owners. Oh, and penalties would be levied on franchise owners found non-compliant with the 1 year notice. Oh, and guess what? The Home Team Act would only apply to professional sports teams located in the United States, not Canadian teams that play in the U.S., like Toronto Raptors, Toronto Blue Jays, Montreal Canadiens, so forth, so on. So, and the reason for this, the Bears of Chicago, the Bears, are putting pressure on Illinois state lawmakers in recent months to get a new stadium and surrounding infrastructure. And they've threatened to move across state lines if they don't get it. So, yeah, well. But I just, there's not enough going on in Washington today and what's happening around the world that we need to worry about whether or not a sports team relocates. Now, there is something to be said about private teams, privately owned teams, pressuring communities to put up millions of dollars for stadiums. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, that should be done at the consensus of the people. In other words, if a city, any city, is being pressured to build a new stadium with taxpayer dollars, I think a taxpayer should have a say in that. But a team that comes along and isn't pressuring a community and builds their own stadiums and all of that stuff, more power to them. I just, it's something else government shouldn't have to worry about. Now, I don't know how you feel about it. None of us would like to see our sports teams disappear. Don't misunderstand me. I would not want to see the Detroit Tigers become the Dayton Tigers or the Indianapolis Tigers, whatever. I would not like to see that, but my life is going to go on. I just think it's and the term that catches me all the time, because every time Bernie Sanders opens his mouth and says anything, it's always about the billionaires. Now, let's understand, first of all, Bernie Sanders is not the poorest man in the world. He's not exactly living in a low-rent apartment someplace, scraping for food every day. He's doing okay for himself. But there seems to be this class envy. The reason billionaires own the teams is they're the only ones that can afford to run them. The cost of salaries and everything else today, which is, in my opinion, out of hand. Billionaires are the only ones that have the wherewithal to do these things. And the shame of that is that we all pay for it. We all pay for it every time we go to a grocery store and buy a product that's advertised anywhere in the world of sports. We pay for it because that's included in the price of the item you buy. There's no free lunch, folks. Everybody complains about the cost of tickets going up, the cost of food at these stadiums, it's inflated. Yeah, but yet you don't realize how much you're paying outside of it, even if you never go to a stadium, how much you're investing in sports. Because every product you buy that advertises in the world of sports, no matter whether it's local, state, national, doesn't matter, you're paying for it. Comes out of their advertising budget, which is included in the cost of whatever you're buying. In the same way that government doesn't have any money that you don't give them, neither do sports teams. They have these big lucrative television contracts. Who pays for that? You do. You want to know how? It's easy. It's all done with advertising. And anytime you buy something that's advertised, you've paid for it. That's the way advertising works. Companies set up budgets, and within their budget is an advertising budget. And that's included when it's figured into the cost of overhead, what it costs to build their product or provide their service, whatever it is they do. You're paying for it. So this notion that, it's somebody else, there's nobody else. It's all of us. It's all of us. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll get to our phones, 989-752-6111.
Hi, I'm Stan.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's a merger impacting restaurants, hotels, fast food companies, hospitals, and many other businesses. Sysco, the largest food distributor in the U.S., is buying Restaurant Depot, the chain that supplies catering businesses, delis, and pizzerias in 35 states. Sysco also supplies KFC and Subway. It's a $29 billion deal. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil, has topped $100 $114 a barrel today. Analysts at Societe Generale are now anticipating Brent crude will average around $125 a barrel in April and say prices could push toward $150. For the end of the year, they're estimating Brent crude will be at $80. It's a short week for Wall Street. Markets will be closed for Good Friday. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Join Fox in supporting our troops. From daily needs to global emergencies, help us be there for those who serve. Visit go.fox/Red Cross to donate to service to the armed forces today.
To the middle, clock bomb, score!
All right, we're back with you. To the phones we go. Betty is in Seaboing. Betty, good morning to you.
Good morning. I had to call right at a break. Excuse me. About 10 years ago or so, I went on a cruise with you and your late wife as host and hostess. And we left Maine, and then we went up the Atlantic coast to Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Quebec. Do you remember that?
Yep, sailed out of New York City originally. Yep.
Out of New York City.
Yeah, we left out of New York, but we did go to Maine, and then we did go to all those other places.
Okay, do you know the name of the cruise line?
That one was Celebrity Cruise Line.
Okay, it was a small cruise line. I remember that.
Well, it wasn't that small, but yeah, that the cruise we did, which was the Canadian cruise that you talk about. We went to Nova Scotia. We went to Quebec City. We went to up a passage up into fjords up in Canada. We stopped in a couple of places in Maine. I think Bar Harbor and we're Portland, Maine. I think we stopped there. But yeah, that was Celebrity Cruise Lines.
Okay, to me, it seemed like a small ship, and I was trying to figure out the name of it, so it was Celebrity.
It was Celebrity. It was not one of their bigger ships, but it wasn't a small ship either.
Right.
And I, for the life of me, I don't remember which ship it was, but it was one of their, it might have been the Millennium, Celebrity Millennium.
All right.
And yeah, I remember that cruise fondly. I've got a lot of pictures of it.
That was
because I like that area of the world. It was a beautiful cruise.
Yep, went to great places.
Yep.
All right, thank you for your help.
All right, thanks for calling, Betty. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And let's talk to Mark. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, Trump is still president after King's Day, so we got
Funny
that
thing
out of the
about
way.
that, yeah.
And then I'm curious to see how the left is going to take the Trump currency that's going to be rolling out. I saw the $100 bill for the 250th anniversary.
Well, it's U.S. currency. It just has his signature on it instead of the Treasury Secretary.
Oh, well, they showed a $100 bill today with him on it. So
not his picture.
I don't know if it's a promotion. Okay.
I doubt that. I think that was AI or something. I don't think we're going to see his picture on it.
All right.
I would hope
hey,
not.
One thing, right. The other day you said I wanted to talk about Cedric Green. You said his character, I forget the exact words, but you didn't something about attacking his character that you support.
No, I don't support.
Cedric...
I don't support attacking his character.
Okay. Well, I got a piece of mail the other day, and it had to do with the Saginaw police chief that had conditions in regards to a commercial that Cedric did. And it said that he did not use the fire truck or was not allowed to take pictures or videos inside the fire truck. And yet that was used in the video, and he's got a sworn affidavit that says that he did not use the fire truck. I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on that. I don't know if you've seen the commercial or not.
I don't know which is true, so I can't give you any thoughts. I do know this, and I'm going to say it again because I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I may disagree with somebody politically, but I may like them personally. I have known Shedrick for decades, and he's always been honest. He's down to earth. He's smart. Spent a couple of decades in the Marine Corps, achieved the highest non-commissioned position you can get. He's worked his way up the ladder in the fire department to captain. He's a hard-working individual. He's smart. And while I can disagree with him politically, doesn't mean I don't have to like him, because I like him. I like him a lot. I've known him a long time. I just don't judge people by their politics. Now, whether I vote for him or not, that's something I have to decide. That's where politics come into play. I'll look at 2 or 3 individuals and say, which one do I think is going to do the best job for its constituency? And I'll make my decision.
A lot of times, the only way people get that is through their mailbox, as far as the mudslinging.
Unfortunately, that's true. And that's too bad. And they do that in the mail. They do it in robocalls. They do it on the internet, social media. That's too bad, because that doesn't really tell the story, because each side is going to blame the other side for something. In the same way that that piece blames him, he has pieces that go against Tunney, for example. And it's unfortunate, because the candidates rarely run these things. You know, they're run by agencies and political consultants and all of that stuff. And you don't get a true picture of the individual from any of that. The only time you get a true picture of the individual is if you go to some kind of debate, or you hear them sit down and do a lengthy interview, and you get some notion of who they are.
Right. So with your platform that you have, are you going to, even though I know you had all 3 of them on, are you going to do a final 2 weeks before voting, kind of like, this is why you should vote for me on each one of them?
No.
Closing statements?
Probably not, because here's why. The rules change as you get closer. For example, the 35th senatorial district in Michigan, which is what they're running for, Tunney and Shedrick and Ali Schleds, who's a libertarian. We've had all 3 of them on. When you get within 2 months of a primary, in order for us to do one, we'd have to do all, and sometimes you can't do that, time-wise. So we've done them. We've given everybody a chance to speak, all had the same amount of time, and I will not at any point in time tell you who I'm voting for, because it's not my place to tell. It's not my place to tell you who to vote for.
Could you do pre-recording 5-minute statements from each one of them, and then have them played back, and this is their closing statements on why they should vote for you?
It's possible. It's something we can think about. Yeah, that's a possibility. It's a possibility, but just understand whatever we do within that window has to be the same for all 3. We can't just do one. And here's the other caveat: political advertising. Political advertising comes in 2 different parts. There's what we call political use. That's where the candidate is identified, the voice, the picture, whatever the type of advertising. If the candidate's identified and say, you know, I'm so, and that's why you hear these people say, I'm so-and-so and I paid for, or I approve this message. That constitutes political use, and they go at the lowest rate that we've charged anyone in the last 3 months or 2 months, whatever the window is. If it's not, the other type of advertising is what you hear from political action committees. They pay the highest rate. We love those ads. They do not qualify for political rate, even though it's political.
All right. Sounds good, sir.
Good enough. Thanks. Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye, Mark. All right, let's take a quick break here, and then we'll be back. We'll get to Susan in Bay City when we return.
When it's time to transform your home's...
And we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones this hour, and Susan is in Bay City. Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Art. You know, I wanted to address that fellow that just called too. I find that, you know, the library and different places you can pick up that Saginaw Review little newspaper.
Yep.
They always have a really good rundown on each and every candidate with the same questions proposed to each one.
Yep.
And I found that very interesting. So when it gets closer to the time of voting, I always pick that up. But I do want to say that as far as I'm concerned, is Democrats are promises made but never kept. And if you want your taxes raised and you want no fiscal responsibility, vote for a Democrat. I've never seen so many people get caught with their hand in the cookie jar as a Democrat.
Well, and that's your position, and that's how you decide who to vote for. Nothing wrong with that, because that's what a free election means, you know.
Yes, and I used to be a Democrat, but I hopped the fence like everybody else that has a brain in their head. And, you know, I wanted to say, wouldn't that be nice now to have that 52.4 cents that Gretchen put on our gas? Wouldn't that be nice to have that back every time we're pumping this money that she's supposedly saving us? It makes me mad every time I fill up my tank, because this, as far as I'm concerned, what Trump is doing is saving us. For 47 years, they kicked the can down the road with these terrorist organizations. Biden let all the lunatics and terrorists in our country, and we probably have sleeper cells everywhere. So it's kind of about time somebody took took control of the situation, and I do not want to be bummed, so I gladly will pay more for my gas. But that it was 52.4 cents extra tax that Gretchen put on each and every gallon of gas that we get would be nice to have at this time. And you know, if she was any kind of governor, she'd roll that back for a while.
Well, she didn't put the tax on. The legislature put the tax on.
She ran it up the
first time when she wanted to fix the roads and she proposed that, it went down to defeat. It wasn't put on.
Yes,
the tax we pay now came through the legislature.
Than anything else.
Tax we pay now came through the legislature.
And I wanted to say, too, you know, I've been kind of trying to follow this library board situation, and there's one board member that's trying to be fiscal responsible towards the millage that the library wants to put on us. And that's all they talk about is ousting him. They're not giving. He's just asking for, okay, how come, I'm following it a little bit, how come we have 4 libraries and the cost is, now I'm not 100% sure, but it's closer to $2 million, when other counties can have up to 6 libraries and their cost is $1 million. So somewhere along the line, he's saying they're not being fiscal responsible, and he's trying to look into this. I appreciate having a board member or anybody that looks out for our tax dollars, because not too many of them do. So, you know, right away they want to oust him, and that makes me mad. As a library user, I want them to use my tax dollars wisely.
Well, who said they haven't? He's the only one that said it.
Well, because
I don't live in Bay County, so I don't know. I can't answer the questions, but my question is, where are the other board members? Why haven't they come forward?
Because they're probably all Democrats and we got one Republican. That's the way it's going. I've been all right,
if you look at it that way, I can't. There's no way you can change your mind if you only look at things from a
I'm not. I'm
narrow view.
No, it's not a narrow view. It's
sure it is.
If
it's Democrat, listen, Susan.
But what happens if
Susan,
we had 10 board members?
Susan, I love you. But when everything Democrat is bad and everything Republican is good, that's a narrow view.
What did Biden do good for our country?
So you're going to go to one guy or one administration.
No. Okay, well then let's go back 12 years that we had all the Democrats run, and look at the mess that poor President Trump is trying to clean up.
I'm not denying that. That's not what I said.
But see, that's the point.
Well, all right.
You know,
listen, this is the beauty of America.
Yes, it is.
Form your opinions, and you can vote on them.
But you know what? That's exactly what you said. It's the beauty of American, and we have a voice. We don't put everybody in jail that disagrees with us.
Right.
We have law and order, and if you are somebody who shoots, murders, mugs, rapes, steals, you go to jail. We have bonds, and people have to pay these bonds or maybe set in jail. Not everybody just walks free, and they are repeat offenders over and over and over till they murder 3 or 4 people, and then they decide to do something about it. You know, I'm just getting really tired of this catch and release. I mean, geez Louise.
Oh, I know that. I agree with you. I mean, to me, some of these prosecutors in some of these, blue states.
Yes, terrible.
They're
And who
ridiculous.
Put them on the
I mean,
bench?
well,
You know what I'm
people
saying?
do.
Yes, and that's just it. See, you get a big city that, okay, it's just like if all of a sudden everybody starts coming to, like Maine or one of the states, when all the money starts going to, Colorado was a great place. When all the money leaves California and you get all the liberals and they go, then they root in Colorado. Or the people from New York all go to Maine and it turns blue. It's automatically ruined.
It's not automatically ruined, but that's the freedom of this country. You got the freedom to live where you want to live and vote how you want to vote. And that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it'll always be.
But my point is when you get a mass incoming of somebody with a certain mindset, they left California or they left Colorado because because they didn't like the way the state was going, but they don't realize they're bringing their same voting habits with them. They've got a mindset that says, well, this is how I've always voted and this is how I'm going to vote again, and then they ruin where they went.
Isn't that your mindset?
No, I really try to weigh the issues. I try to watch all the different news channels. I try to watch
good for you. That's good.
But
understand this, too. A lot of those, quote, billionaires and zillionaires and whatever that leave places like California and move elsewhere also realize why they're doing it. They may not carry all those blue habits with them. Remember that.
Well, what they're escaping is the high taxes that the Democrats have imposed.
Right,
on
which means what? Which means they may look at it differently now, might they?
Yeah, you think they would, and you see some of them trying to, like I said, I see some of them, trying to now get in Trump's good graces.
I'm going to interrupt.
Thank you.
I'm going to interrupt because I got to take a break. Talk to you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
We'll be back.
My name is Angie Guja. I've been an...
All right, we're back with you. Back to the phones to see if we can run them out here. Joe is in Saginaw. Joe, good morning.
Hi, good morning to you.
Morning.
I don't have an impassioned plea today.
Go ahead.
They were talking about Cedric Green.
Yep.
And quite frankly, I don't know him well, but I have spoken with him directly. And I know about his history as a Marine and a firefighter. And I got to tell you, I thought it was a hoot when I got the mail that said Cedric Green should not be elected because he sat in a fire truck and he lied about it. He fibbed about it. To me, if that's the character flaw that guy's got, he's got my vote. And it just, you hear so many really bad and evil things about people. And to get on a guy's case because he sat in a fire truck is just crazy. So that was one thing. Then the other thing is you had people calling it about not having enough information on people running for office. And one of my pet gripes is that voters have obligations in a democracy, and they keep forgetting that. They want everybody, many people want to be.
Yeah.
And they're not going out and looking at both sides. I listen to your conservative talk.
Your phone is breaking up a little, Joe.
Almost every day.
Your phone is breaking up a little.
Pardon me?
Your phone is breaking up a little. Find a.
Can you hear me?
No, keep moving.
Is it bad?
It breaks. Keep moving.
Okay.
That's better. Go ahead, try that.
All right. And anyway, I want to focus on the obligation of voters. There's Cedric Green and Mr. Tooney had a debate in Saginaw Valley that's online, and you can view the video anytime. You can call the offices of both parties and ask them what their positions are on a topic of interest to you. Voters have got to get off their butts and get out there and find out for themselves.
Amen.
So, you know, and then I had a little experience in economic development, and I really do believe what you said earlier is true. In any big major project, the people should vote on it, period. That's when you're talking millions and millions of dollars. And also the other thing is that there needs to be clawbacks. If anybody's going to do some big development for sports or whatever, there are non-monetary benefits to having a football team or basketball team in your community.
Well, you're breaking up
money
again.
that comes in. Oh, okay. I'm going to say goodbye this morning until we get this thing fixed.
Find a better place to stand. All right, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Take
Hey,
care.
thank you. Good
You
talking
bet.
to you.
Bye-bye
Bye.
now. Let's talk to Tim in Midland. Tim, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, two great calls there. Previous gentleman has some great points. And the young lady that called before that, I kind of want to address a couple of those points she had. I lived in California for 7 years of my life, and it's a shame what the Democrats have done to that state.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute beautiful, beautiful state, one of the largest economies in the world, and they've ruined it. However, what I will say is, going back to a counterpoint on what she said, at least Democrats are usually honest with what they say they're going to do. They're going to go government. They're going to come up with some crazy social programs that I don't agree with. They will be honest with those things. The Republicans, however, come running at you and saying, we're going to shrink government. We're going to stay out of these wars that we don't need to get into. We're going to stay out of them. We're going to shrink government, where we're going to have a big, beautiful bill to come at you with. That's the problem. It's like, don't tell me you're going to not do it and then turn around and do it.
Yeah, well, that's the problem today, as I see it. Neither party can be counted on to shrink government. Let's start with that.
You're right. So count that out. Just count it out. It's a lie on both sides.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's a shame, but it's true. It's a lie. It's true. It's a lie.
It is. The thing is, I was a staunch Republican for years. Then I came to realize that government is wasteful and it's inefficient. And it's inherently that way, no matter what you do, what party's in. And the only way to combat that is just to minimize it, is to shrink it. So it's always going to be wasteful. It's always going to be corrupt.
Yeah, finding the people to shrink it, though, is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my point. Is that's why I think we have a uniparty system. It's like, whatever, okay,
Yeah.
Republican, Democrat. I don't really care. And people don't seem to vote for somebody. They seem to vote against it. It's like,
well, that's the problem in politics today. Negative advertising is taken over. And,
that's right.
And unfortunately, the reason for that is people react to it.
Yeah, right. Everybody wants the hate and the hate mongering. It's like, oh my, terrible, horrible. But it's just, Republicans are not shrinking government. They're not shrinking it. They're not cutting your taxes. They're not staying out of these wars. It's not happening. So, I mean, come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's both sides of the story. Good. I mean, so you're voting for the lesser of two evils, is what I felt like I was doing.
Yeah.
When I was voting Republicans, like, I'm going to vote for the lesser of two evils. It's like, I'm not voting for either of them. You know what? I'm checking the box, Libertarian, and they're, you're wasting your vote. That's my
you know
choice.
what, though? And I don't know that I'd vote for her, but I had Ali Sledsin, who's a Libertarian in the 35th Senatorial District. She's brilliant,
heard her.
and she is exceptional. And
I agree.
She had some great points. I was impressed.
That's what you hear from the Libertarians. They have excellent points, and Republicans are their main, fight against. Republicans or Libertarians. It's like, well, I don't know. I just can't vote for that because, it's going to be, I'm throwing it away. And, I hear you. So.
All right. Good enough.
All right. Good.
Tim, thanks.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yep.
All right, this is going to be our last caller. This is Rick in Roscommon. Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Just a quick comment. I saw on social media and the main media that the crowds at the No Kings rallies estimated across the country 9 million people. And I want to put that in perspective. Double that number, and that's the amount of people that entered into the United States illegally during the Biden administration. That shows, look at the pictures of the masses of people in the towns protesting, and double it. That's how many people entered our country illegally, and nobody seems to realize how bad it was.
Yeah, that's certainly one side of it, no doubt about it. I'm going to have to say thanks.
Some perspective.
Very good. Got to go. Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye. That'll do it. Time says so. The old clock on the wall, I can't defeat that. So we'll take a break, come back, tell you what's ahead on Focus. All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. We're back tomorrow with lots more. Coming up on Focus, Momentum Men's Lifestyle Studio in Bay City. We'll find out what that's all about coming up on Focus. But before we get there, of course, it's news, and the news coming up from CBS brings you update on the world and the nation. Michael Percha is in the WSGW newsroom. He'll fill you in on the region and the state. And then we'll be back with Focus right after the news. We'll talk to you then.
Broadcasting from the storm.